Welcome back everyone, it's Darian from Bastion Gaming here. Today we're running Wing 3 of Hellfire Citadel, known as the Bastion of Shadows. This also has a 3 boss run in it. The first one's literally right here as you take the portal up from Gorfine. Now normally you would clear out this whole room, but since we're high enough level, we can go right on to the boss.
You are too late! The corruption is nearly complete!
Now Shadow Lord Iskar here. As you see, the Eye Azul will actually play a part in this little boss fight. But we really don't need it, but we'll grab it anyway. Now you'll take fire damage while it's not being held. And you'll take fire damage while holding it. And the Shadow Lord here will summon up adds, and also a copy of himself on Mythic, of course. Plain and simple is you just need to burn down these adds here. I'll show you the abilities of the adds. I'd rather not explain them. I'll explain the boss. Alright, now onto the boss here. On Mythic here, he has Shadow Repose, or whatever you want to say that word, which unlocks a burst of energy dealing shadow damage and knocking the eye here out of your possession. So whoever's holding it will be the target of this. Fellow's Iteration is just a beam that fixates on a random player that chases them. Now, you need to run this beam to the edge because this beam will actually leave behind pools of Hellfire. Phantasmal Wound is he'll unleash this on the current targets, causing them to bleed until they're healed past 90% of their maximum health. It does shadow damage and additional shadow damage every 2 seconds until healed. Now if you hold the eye while you have this, it gets automatically removed. Now his Fel Chakram, he hurls this and ricochets all 3 players before going back to him. Upon impact, Chakram will explode, doing fire damage to all enemies based on the proximity of the explosion. In addition, it does fire damage to any players it goes through while on the way to its targets. Now, Phantasma wins. This illusion will overpower people and push them towards the edge of the cliff. Now, if you hold the eye, this gets dispelled. Focus Blast, he hurls a beam of Fel energy, which inflicts massive fire damage that is split between people together. So if you wanted to take this, you would need the group needs to stick together on this. We're going to grab the eye here, engage the boss.
The shadows will envelop you!
Now you see, at certain percentages, he will fly out and
Witness true
I
power!
need to target
you can't do nothing about it, unfortunately.
It's too far away.
We're just going to knock him down. Here's the Focus Blast. And here's the Fel Incineration.
The veil cannot hide my might!
We're just going to stand in this. And as you see, I'm getting a small stacking fire debuff due to the eye I'm holding.
Do you think you have won? You know nothing!
Now is our first boss.
breach the first seal. Soon the portal will take us to Gul'dan.
Your next boss in this wing will be Sorcerer the Internal. But first things first is you gotta fight your way through a bunch of Edradar, I think they're called. The Corrupt Draenei. And you see there's a Dreadlord waiting right here.
They come for me! Stop them, Salderai!
Now, to actually get this boss fight ready to initiate, you gotta kill these 4
Fight, you
right
fools!
here.
Stop them!
I need to get closer.
I should have expected as much. No matter. The construct is fully powered. The final binding will have to wait. For now, I believe we have a score to settle. Flee!
Now, as you can see, he actually possesses the construct there. Well, more or less the first phase of this fight requires you to actually beat down the construct and knock the soul loose. Now, the construct's abilities are Reverberating Blow, which does physical damage to targets in a cone and applies 3 stacks of Shatter Defense, which increases the damage you take from Reverberating Blow by 300%. Fell Prison, he'll create a ring on the ground, and if you step in it, you'll be stuck inside a crystalline prison, which can be destroyed, but at the same time, you take 99% reduced damage for 30 seconds. The Volatile Fell Orb, which he'll create an orb that targets a random target and will detonate on impact. Fellblaze Charge, he'll charge forwardly behind a trail of arcane energy, which inflicts fire damage. And if you happen to be in it, you lose 75% of your movement speed. Now, Mythic, Apocalyptic Fell Burst creates a large spell bomb that drops at a location, which does massive fire damage to anyone underneath it and all others who are not. Now, Overwhelming Power, which will cause this, the bolts will fly out of it, causing the burn players for fire damage for every second over 6 seconds. Now, if someone jumps in it, their damage is reduced by 50%. Now, on Mythic, you have this Voracious Soul Stalker that periodically jumps in. It'll fixate it on target and devour anyone inside that cone, which pretty much does a massive amount of shadow damage that will kill you. Now, the Blood Tracker, its speed continually increases as it tries to hunt its current target. Now, the Soul Regeneration will heal them for 100% of maximum health, causing them to fixate on a new target to remove Bloody Tracker. Basically, you need to knock this thing down to 50% health to make it lose all these buffs. Now, the construct here can actually make this beast get hurt bad. It does additional 300% damage to it. So if you wanted to actually take this out, you needed the construct's ability to beat this sucker down. Now, during the fight, he'll summon up ads. We're going to just show you these instead of explaining them. You got the Haunting Soul, you got the Sagarai Shadowcaller, and you got the Sagarai Dominator. Now, once you knock him out of the construct, you're fighting his soul, basically. He'll try to assert dominance, which you need to interrupt this, because if he knocks enough health off it, he knocks you out, and he'll take it back over where you'll have to fight it again and get back in it. Now Apocalypse, he basically releases a deadly burst that does shadow damage to all players for 10 seconds.
You killed me once, mortals. It will not happen again! The binding I cannot control! My soul itself shall strike you down!
As you see, he's trying to beat down the construct
Sargere,
so he
to
can
me!
take it back for himself.
The nether! It consumes me!
Another seal is open. Oh, I am good.
Now for the last boss, we head to Tyrant Vel Hari. As you see, she has a 3-stage fight, but her abilities here more or less stay the same. Now, before we get into it, this room, the only way to get out of it is by destroying all 4 of these portals and then killing him.
I'm out of range.
Now, unfortunately, you can be interrupted if you're trying to destroy the portal, so due to my high level, I'll be able to destroy them all without being interrupted. And see, I got interrupted there. And you really want to destroy the portals as fast as possible, because you would be swarmed with enough ads here you wouldn't be able to handle. And when you destroy it, he falls down and he'll be stunned for about 8 seconds. So use those 8 seconds to do as much damage to him. Now as you get through here, there is an ad you really need to be aware of. I believe it's the Faith Breaker. If you're not careful, this guy can one-shot your tanks. He has a nasty ability that does a massive amount of health. Even at max level, that ability is related to health. It can knock your tank down or even one-shot them depending on what their level of health is. Now, technically you can kill all these here, but I'm just going to kill the adjunct here instead of the Protector and the Vindicator. Now she actually is what people call a Dark Paladin. Some of her abilities are the Edict of Condemnation, which does shadow damage and it splits among all players struck. This effect strikes for every 3 for 9 seconds. Now on Mythic, it also reduces your movement speed. Touch of Harm shall place a shell of shadow magic around a player that absorbs healing. Now if it's dispelled, the remaining amount jumps to another player. Now on Mythic, it inflicts 15% of the target's current health as shadow damage every 2 seconds. So healers need to be very aware on Mythic when this happened. Seal Decay, she'll occasionally curse a target with shadow magic, reducing their healing and absorption by 10% for 18 seconds, and this does stack. Now stage 1 is Oppression, where she'll have the Aura of Oppression, which causes players to suffer shadow damage when they move. Now over time, this effect gets stronger and stronger, so that's why you always had a this is a DPS race when it came to this boss, but also being aware of her abilities, because she's literally a Dark Paladin. Annihilating Strike, she tracks a player, slashing out in a cone, doing fire damage. If players are struck, they cause a searing blaze. This will explode, doing fire damage to all players within 2 yards and knocking them up. Now, as you can see, we have Holy Power. She has Corrupt Power. And this will generate one of them. Infernal Tempest will cause players to burst into flame, burning themselves along with anyone within 2 yards for fire damage. And if you touch, you create a searing blaze at the location. This gives her 3 power. And during the fight, ads will spawn in, as the Ancient Enforcer will come in. Burning him down is priority because they will give her a buff. Stage 2 is Aura of Contempt, which causes all players unable to be healed above 80% of their maximum health. And this actually increases over time, which means you can heal above 70, then it goes to 60. So like I said, this is a DPS race. While she's in Stage 2, she has Tainted Shadows, which she crushes a player with dark magic, giving her 1 corrupt power. And Fawn of Corruption curses random players with dark power, causing them to cast Tainted Shadows to appear additionally from the Fawn. Gives her 3 corrupt power. Now Harbinger shows up at 60% health. This is the ad that you would want to burn down as soon as possible due to the fact that she is able to heal. You would need to interrupt her Harbinger mending. Now the problem is, you would have to burn her down because every time you interrupt her, Impatient Mind would go on her, giving her an additional 20% cast speed. So basically at 5 stacks, she instant casts this heal and you're screwed. You're more or less screwed when she got 3 stacks. Now Aura of Malice here is Stage 3. She emits this curse, causing players to inflict 20% additional damage to her, but suffer additional damage as well. And this will increase over time. So this is usually when you wanted to use everything you could on her because you got the damage boost on you. Also during this fight, at 30% health, she summons forth the Ancient Sovereign to assist her. As usual, you want to burn him down because he'll cast his gaze upon her, making her take 90% reduced damage for 20 seconds. Now, during this time, she has Bulwark of the Tyrant, which does shadow damage to the current target, and additional to random players, and leaves behind despoiled ground, which more or less is a purple Consecrate. You don't want to stand in it because you take shadow damage. Now the Gavel of the Tyrant inflicts fire damage to all players and knocking them back. An additional radiates flame, doing flame damage to all players for 8 seconds. Now this will cost her corrupt power. We're going to get into it and you'll see.
The Eridar are no strangers to war.
Here you go,
Are you
Seal
so
Decay.
eager to meet your end? You are getting so
Aura
very
of
frail
Oppression.
and weak. Harbinger, enough! This is where you die. The Sovereign watches over me. What a tragedy.
I'll be honest, a lot of people wanted her mace, and if you ran time walking, this was the trinket you wanted to grab
The portal
because
is nearly
you
complete.
get stamina.
The next seal has been removed.
But that was the wing known as the Bastion of Shadows. This is Asterion from Asterion Gaming, asking to please sub and like. Also go check out the Twitch channel. Till then, I'll see you all in the next video.